Okay, so what we did today in class is complete a lot of these equations. As you can see, a lot of this is not my handwriting, that's your classmates. So what we did is we took turns up here to illustrate these reactions. So what we see here, what is the best indication that you can say, how did you know, that's correct, how did you know that magnesium carbonate plus lithium is a single replacement reaction? You're right. What would be the best thing to look for? Not just the charges, but that doesn't answer what type of reaction it is. You're getting closer. Okay, so how do we know the difference between this reaction and that one? Can you be more specific when you say?
There's three, like,
There's only three different
But
you can only replace one of them.
right, you can only replace one spot. So what this lithium does is that replaces this magnesium, but on this side. And that's what we're illustrating here. Okay? So it might be pretty small, but we can get the idea of what we're trying to illustrate here. And then what your 3 or 4 lines would be, okay, if this is magnesium carbonate, which it is, did that number change from 1, or is it still just a 1? Still just a 1, okay? What about our lithiums then, okay? So we didn't put the coefficient in here, but we know what we're referring to when we say multiplication sign. How many lithiums then? That's 2, okay? What about our magnesiums here? They're still just 1. And then what about our lithium carbonate? Okay. So once we started this, why is that 3 going over to this side? Not because it's in parentheses, because this is part of the formula. It's a polyatomic ion. When that happens, this has to go over to this side. It has to do that. So this 2 here is just to help balance out the charges. Okay. So then we moved from this magnesium carbonate plus lithium in a single replacement reaction, chromium 3 hydroxide plus potassium chloride. Do we see a slight difference between these two reactions? Magnesium carbonate, is that a molecule or a compound? That is a compound. What about lithium? Is that just a metal? Is it a compound, or what is it? It's not a molecule. Yeah, it's a metal. But when we look at this here, chromium 3 hydroxide and potassium chloride, is this a compound? Yes. Is this a compound? Yes. So when you have 2 distinct compounds, 2 replacements took place. That's why we call that a double replacement. So then here's your product on this side. For those of you who tune into this, will allow for you to go back and watch this, should you choose to do that. Okay, so if we have a hydrocarbon, C8H18 plus oxygen, what type of reaction are we referring to? That is a combustion reaction, okay? So we'll go ahead and put this DR here, even though we're illustrating it there. This is a combustion reaction, okay? So why put this 2 in front here right away? Because it's an even number, okay? What's going to happen is if you don't do that right away, it's going to take you a little longer to figure this out, okay? So a combustion reaction, which is 225, and then let's see here, 18, I believe, and then 16. Those are your 4 coefficients, okay? Aluminum. Is that a metal or a molecule, or that's a metal? Bromine. Is that a metal, non-metal, molecule? Okay, and it's a gas. So those 2 come together to form aluminum bromide, and when that happens, what's taking place when you take two substances and put them together. There's a synthesis reaction, or SY, okay? And then what is this bottom reaction then? It's also a combustion reaction, okay? Why is there not a 2 here? Because it's an odd number, okay? So then, again, we'll allow you to go back and work that out. Then for this, I didn't get the coefficients in there. Looks to me like we've got 2 in front of the aluminum, then we've got 3 in front of that bromine, and then we've got 2 in front of this aluminum. Gesundheit. Okay, so in an indirect way, we'll be starting in the next chapter talking about hydrocarbons and organic chemistry, which we can do because we've already introduced that here. That'll be on Tuesday. Okay, any questions that you can think of that maybe your classmates that are perhaps tuning in later could help them? No questions? All right. So for those of you who tuned in, we hope we found this as a benefit and to help you out. Okay. Or hopefully we found it beneficial. That's what I meant to say. Okay. So we will catch up to you next time on Tuesday.